guys, my name is Sydney and I'll be teaching all of you how to paint a galaxy today. Galaxies are one of my favorite things to paint because they're super easy and they look so cool when you're done. So let's get into what you'll need for this project. A canvas. A canvas is preferred, but if you don't have one, heavy paper will do just fine. Acrylic paint. For galaxies, you can do so many different colors, but for this tutorial, we'll be going black, purple, blue, pink, light blue, and white. But feel free to mix it up at home and make it your own. A sponge or a brush. Now my sponge looks weird because you can put it on your finger like this, but any old sponge will do. Or if you don't have a sponge at all, just a brush will be great. A palette for your paint. But if you don't have a palette, you can use a paper plate. You'll also want some water for your paint to clean your brushes off. But if you have water that you're drinking nearby, make sure you don't mix it up with your paint water. Trust me, I have made that mistake many times and it is not fun. And I like to have a roll of paper towels handy so that you can wipe off your brush. And last but certainly not least, you'll need an artist hat. Trust me, this is 100% necessary for this process. So now that we have all our materials together, we can get painting. Okay, so we're ready to start painting our galaxy. So I'm gonna get my little sponge here. I'm just gonna dip it in the black. Oh, we gotta make the background black. So just tap your sponge. We're just making that background black. You could also put a little dark blue now and then in your black, just to add a little interest, a little flavor. And especially if you want this to be more night sky-ish rather than galaxy-ish, the blue is going to be your friend. So just keep tapping like that. And if you don't have a sponge like I do, you can take your brush and do the same thing with your black and just tap it like this. But I'm gonna continue with the sponge because I think it makes a better kind of texture. And you can just put that blue wherever you want. However you want, wherever you want. Galaxies, no two galaxy paintings are going to be the same because there's just so much variation that you can do, so much customization. There's so many options. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I've got a paper towel down under my canvas so I don't get the table all painty. Don't want that. So I think that's good for our background, just the black and the dark blue. So now we're gonna take a little more of our dark blue and start putting in where we want our nebulas to kind of be. And the trick to this step, not tapping in the blue as much as we did in the last step to make it blend into the black more. You're gonna want that blue to stand out on its own a little bit more. And you can do your nebulas in whatever shape. I'm kind of going for like a little whooshy woo down the middle here. I think that'll be pretty cool. And you can think of nebulas as kind of cloudish. So they're like in little clumps and groups and strands like that. They're not just all over. Now you're gonna want to tap your sponge more around the edges of your blue that you're doing right now. And that'll help it blend, the edges blend into the black. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that blue for now. And now I'm gonna add a little purple. And same thing with the blue. This is kind of our first step of building the nebula. So you can put that purple wherever your little heart desires. This is the really fun part of galaxies. You can just put colors pretty much wherever you want, however you feel, however you want your galaxy to be. And again, when you're doing this, be careful to not overwork your colors or else it'll just blend right into that black and you'll just have a plain black canvas. And you can go back and forth with your colors. I'm adding a bit more blue just to make my colors a little brighter. Okay, I think that's gonna do it for me for this step. Next, we're gonna start adding some lighter colors. Galaxy painting is all about layering your colors, one on top of the other. So we started with the really dark, we went a little lighter, now we're gonna go lighter. So where I have my blue, I'm gonna use this light blue, and I'm just gonna go kind of in the middle of my blue areas and just add it in the middle of the blues. And you don't want to use too much of your light color, or else it'll kind of distract from your beautiful nebulas that you've got going on here. I think I got a little bit too much light kind of in here, so I'm gonna go back to my dark blue and kind of tap that back in. Okay, so we've done our light blue on the dark blue. So now I'm gonna take this pink. First I'm gonna wipe off my sponge a little bit, and then I'm gonna take this pink and put it in the middle of my purple areas. Ooh, that's a lot of pink. If you got too much paint, just wipe off your sponge or your brush or whatever you're using. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of pink. So again, if you need to, go back, get a little bit of your darker color. You can just go along the edges again. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more blue because I didn't leave very much light blue visible. Okay, I think that'll do it for my kind of colored highlights. And if you want to, now you can add just a little tiny bit of white. Like, not very much at all. Just at the very, very center of your lightest highlights. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So now we're gonna do the really fun part. So I'm gonna show you a really easy way to make stars. You can get any kind of brush you want, but I find a firm bristled brush does good. And you can do this a couple ways. You can either get your white paint on your brush and take your thumb and flick it onto the painting like that. But I like to get my white paint on my brush. And you're gonna want your paint to be pretty watery for this. Get a good amount of white on it and get your finger like this and tap it. But I also like to do this a little bit to get some smaller stars. And you don't have to tap your finger. You can get another brush and tap it against the other brush if you want to. Okay, some of these might have gotten a little too big. So if your stars get a little too big, just get your trusty sponge back and you can tap over them again. And it could create some nice some cool highlights for you too. Kind of a happy accident. Alright, and there you have it, a galaxy. Now you could stop right there and just have a nice galaxy, but I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to put some trees at the bottom, just to give it a little more interest. So, you're going to want a smaller brush like this. First, make a line where you want your tree to go. And then, you make little dots with your brush. Starting really small at the top, small little dots. You work your way down the tree and your dots and your branches get bigger and bigger. So just keep doing that until you're all the way across your canvas. And you don't want your trees all to be the same height. You want some bigger ones, some smaller ones. And then when you're all done, you should sign your masterpiece at the bottom. Ta-da! And there we have it. So I hope you had as much fun painting your little galaxy as I did mine. So I'll see you around. Bye guys!